Fine. Is the screen shared, Baba? Can you see the slide show
Yes,
mode?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine, fine, fine. Thank you so much. Okay, so a warm good noon to all. Today we'll begin with the last module of databases subject. That's transaction management. So this module is completely out of your SQL. We try to understand every concept based on the type of transactions. Now, very first thing, the moment you understand this topic is on, this is like how actually we try to execute the SQL queries from the outside world. Maybe with respect to some applications we try to execute, or in the form of all the programs we try to execute from the outside SQL is like a transaction. Now, first, what is transaction? Can just having a note, you can just have a note. Transaction is a particular, sorry, uh, yeah. So what is actually transaction? If you're just making a note, you can just have a note. Transaction is just a simple operation. Operation means two things, either read operation or write operation applied on the data, or you can even say in the form of object. Okay, so if I'm writing any data or reading any data, that must be applied on a particular object. Object means reading a particular account number or updating some data in the account number, all that will fall in your transaction. The actual meaning of transaction is it is a kind of operation, either read or write operation applied on an object. Okay, so hope you guys are understanding the meaning of transaction. A transaction is a simple operation, either read or write, applied on a particular object, like read X, write X, read Y, write Y, like that. So when you're talking about transaction processing, you need to know what are different types of systems or the background required to study the transaction processing. So you try to execute the the queries in the form of a particular process. So just imagine you are trying to use your ATM machine. In ATM machine, you try to use um, the the transaction in the form of a particular process. So process means you observe there is a fixed amount type of processes in your swiping your card, or um, or one more example, you can consider your Amazon website. How do you purchase a product? So based on your processes, the data keeps on moving from one table to the other table. Okay, so same way here, whenever you're trying to do any operations, either read or write, that always happens with respect to a particular process. And we call that process is a transaction process because we are working with respect to a particular application. Not only with respect to databases, it is the complete application which is running. So we call that whole thing is in the form of transaction processing. So in the transaction processing, you have two types of systems, single user system and multi-user system. It is very obvious that single user system, that means only one person is working at one point of time. And similarly, you can even say multi-user system, like multiple users accessing the system. Now, the intention you understand behind that, what is actually your single user system or multi-user system, that again you have a kind of difference. When any one user is using the system, you will try to observe that only one user can access the system at one point of time. What about others? The others cannot access your system at any point of time. So only one user you're trying to access. So till that one user executes and completes and terminates, the other will not get access. So that's not actually where I mean associating to such a type of accessing, we will arise some problems. We say transaction anomalies may arise. So what are the different transaction anomalies will come into picture? We'll try to understand them just as we go proceed with the further topics. Now, first understand what is the intention of having multi-user system. Single user system means only one user accessing at one point of time. Others are waiting in queue, or others are waiting for the chance to execute. And the whole world, imagine only one ATM can be accessed at one point of time. If that is the reason, you can understand when you may try to get access. And obviously, it's very difficult to access if only one person is allowed at one point of time. We cannot predict when you will get the time, but waiting time will be abundant. So, to cut short that, we will go with multi-user system. Means the system should be capable of taking care of multiple people simultaneously. So simultaneously means the one word you can understand is concurrency. Okay, concurrency means simultaneous execution. So when you're trying to access concurrently, or when we want to bring concurrent executions of multiple transactions, then you need to take care of interleaved process, and obviously parallel processing have to take place in order to execute the things. Now, just imagine if you have a computer which is executing only one process at one point of time. You can imagine if you want to imagine you are editing your word as well as you want to listen to songs simultaneously. If it is not possible, then definitely you cannot access things. But in today's world, you are doing things simultaneously. You're running your Winamp at the back end, and your front end, you are doing 2 to 3 tasks. That's all are possible with respect to your latest systems. Now, actually, you have just one processor running, and you have 2 to 3 tasks running. So that is actually multitasking. But when you observe the systems running simultaneously, like I mean, all the ATMs are simultaneously accessing. So all the ATM machines are running simultaneously. I mean, all are running with different processes. That is called as concurrent execution or interleaved processing. So simultaneous execution of multiple transactions for a particular bank or of a particular branch, all that is called as interleaved processing. Okay. Why the concurrent execution, or why concurrence is introduced is because to give or because to boost up the performance of the system, or the application processing have to reduce. In order to do that, your concurrency has been introduced. All right. So by introducing concurrent concept, or by bringing concurrency in midst of transaction system, we observe that your performance will arise. Okay. The main intention is the user's waiting time has to be reduced. In order to reduce the waiting time of the user, we bring in concurrency in midst in order to boost the performance of your application. So to do that, no doubt we need to have interleaved processing and parallel processing as well. Now, parallel processing means 2 to 3 people simultaneously accessing their data in their ATMs, or 2 to 3 people simultaneously accessing your Amazon website. Now, just imagine one simple example of the big billion day of your Amazon website or Flipkart, they need to calculate that simultaneously how many people can be accessing their web portal or how many people will be buying their products. So they will try to calculate and see that and give all the resources in order to access all the things in just at one click. So um, your transaction processing should be capable of handling interleaved processing and parallel processing as well. Okay, so first understand what is the meaning of transaction is just a logical unit of processing that includes one or more access operations. Operations are just read and write, like as I said earlier, whether you are reading the data or whether you are writing the data. Writing the data means either two things: you are inserting the data or updating the data or deleting the data. Okay, so actually we are following transaction processing with the help of high level languages, and undoubtedly at the backend you have SQL, and you may use some interactive portal like embedded SQL or interactive programming or any other high-end programming language, maybe your C, C++, Java, .NET, Visual Basic, or any other language. So we try to execute all those programs with the help of transactions. So we strictly require an application program that takes care of all the operations. All right. So uh, please understand what we are trying to work on is we need to concentrate on certain concepts with respect to what actually is the granularity of the data. Granularity means what actually you are trying to concentrate on. So when you're accessing data, what data the user is interested in, whether he is interested in a particular record or a field or the whole disk or the whole database or the whole table. So depending on the accessing type of the data, the granularity will be fixed. Now, suppose if you are accessing a particular user's information in the Amazon product, so what product you are accessing, only that product will be given to you. The rest all are hidden from you. So your granularity will be based on only one product. Now, when you search one product in Amazon website, you see only those products and similar products displayed to you. Others are hidden. And when you click on a particular product which is shown to you, so your granularity changes only to that particular product and the options and the other things you can see of only that product. Understanding? So hope you guys are understanding what is granularity of the data. So the moment you search a product in Amazon website, you are only that product information you are able to see. Only that product information, or that product means similar products or what are possible things of that particular product only you can see. The rest are completely hidden. As you click on one particular object, only that object you can see in detail with all the seller's information, with all the users information, all or with all the availability information, the specifications, the offers, the images, and so on. So your granularity of the data changes according to what you're accessing. Okay, so the moment you swipe your card in ATM machine, let us take one more example and observe. The moment you swipe your card, your granularity will fix to a particular card number and the card number linked to a particular account. So only that account is been you can access. And the moment you see the once your confidentiality is checked with the card, once the user verification is done, you get list of series of options. When you click on a particular, say, withdraw or deposit, subsequently your data maps or changes according to what operation you have pressed. That's all about your one word called as granularity of the data. Okay, so granularity means data will map according to what you have asked for, whether it may be a field, it may be a record, or it may be a whole database in that instance. So please remember, we are always doing only two operations, either read operation and write operation. So read item of X represents your reading an object named X from the program variable. All right. So we assume always that read item of X represents that you are reading an item X. Similarly, when you're writing any item, so write item of X, that means you're writing the named variable X from into the database. Okay, so read and write operations are the basic units. You try to transfer the data in terms of block wise, or in terms of object wise, in terms of field wise or record wise, and so on. So always please remember, data will be brought to the main memory first, or to a buffer where you try to update or read or write. Then the data, the whole block wise, the data is passed on to your disk or your storage of permanent storage. You will never access, you will never directly update the data to the storage device directly. First, from the storage, the data has to be brought to the main memory. Main memory in the sense, the buffer, where you try to do the operations like read or write. After doing the operations, the data is pushed back to the secondary device or to the storage device with the help of your named variable, or maybe in the form of program variable name X. Right? Same thing with respect to your writing also. First, a particular address will be found out from where you're trying to access your data. Read the particular block. From that block, which particular address you're trying to access. The whole data which is has to be read, that to be brought to your in the form of a block to the main memory. From main memory, it will read a particular address from where the data will be read. So that all happens with respect to your displacement of the current particular location and so on. Now, when it comes to transactions, different transactions, or what is actually, how actually a transaction occurs, this is how it looks. All right, so now two sample transactions you can observe, transaction T1 and transaction T2. So transaction T1 holds a read item X, and you are trying to read some value like X is equal to X minus N. You are trying to write item. So after, see, now X and N are two particular variables or some objects. So first you will try to read one value of X, then minus some N value to X and write that item to X, and again read item Y, then add some Y value to N and write that value to Y. Now subsequently, what second transaction is doing is same as read fx, read item X, and you're adding X plus M to your read whatever read value, and you are updating value of write to X. Now what's happening here is, now when you're considering two transactions, T1 transaction is different, T2 transaction is different. Now, if I'm trying to do the operations simultaneously, now there might occur the problems. What we are trying to consider is just try to understand there are three problems associated with when you're working on transactions. So transaction will have some problems, like three problems: the lost update problem, temporary update or read problem, or incorrect summary problem. This is also called as uh, read write problem, write read problem, and write write problem. So this actually occurs when you get a transaction conflict. So when can a transaction conflict is, just write down um, one or two statements I will just discuss. Just write down one or two statements. When can a transaction conflict may occur? So please understand, I will just scribble here. Transaction conflict. So when can a transaction conflict occurs? Okay, so please understand, conflict means when 2 to 3 transactions will try to have a clash. In general words, we say a clash. Okay, just understand. Um, Now, how many of you played the game called musical chair? Come on, I need some response from you. Did you guys play musical chair game? Say yes or no.
Yes, sir.
Can anybody just put some light on that game? Or will there be more chairs with respect to number of people? Come on, say something. I'm asking you something,
So
guys.
chair is less, whereas people are more.
Okay. So how many chairs will be more, or how many people will be more? Can you just explain the game, Baba? Yes. I know you know the things, but just I just want to extract from you. Let me see what you people will say for that. Come on. I want some of you to interact. Come on, say
N
something.
people n minus 1 chase.
Very good. So you have n people and n minus 1 chairs. Very good. So do you have a conflict in musical chair game? Conflict means when can a conflict occur? Now, I just want to hear from you. What do you mean by conflict in musical chair? Yes. So imagine there are 4 people, and how many chairs should be there, Dharma? So according to you, n minus 1, that means there should be 3 chairs, correct? So I should have 3 chairs, and these are the 3 chairs. So 4 people will try to revolve in one particular direction, say anti-cycle or anti-clockwise direction or clockwise direction. Now imagine I have gone in a anti-clockwise, so 4 people try to move according to the direction which has been given. When the music stops, and 3 people will occupy and 1 will be remaining, right? So a conflict will occur when 2 people try to sit in same chair, correct? Or when person, I mean actual problem is the conflict when can occur? 2 people try to sit on one chair, a conflict occurs. Correct? Are you understanding, Baba? Can I have some of your responses? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, the see conflict when it occurs when the chairs are less, and when two people trying to sit on same chair, conflict occurs. We purposely try to make or we in the game actually we try to have one chair less than the number of people just to see that, and at every round one guy will come out, and subsequently we'll follow and see that only 1% remains at the end of the game. All right. Now same way, when the clash occurs, the clash occurs when you have 2 transactions minimum. So when a transaction conflict occurs is when there are more than 2 transactions. If these 2 transactions are running simultaneously or concurrent, when both are running simultaneously, or that means both are running concurrently, and when both are using read operation, absolutely there will not be a problem. When any one transaction want to use write operation, then certainly you will be arising to uh, a conflict of transaction. At least there should be 2 transactions, and those two transactions are running simultaneously. And if any one transaction is having a write operation, then a transaction conflict will occur. Hope you guys have understood what I'm trying to convince you. So there must be at least two transactions like T1 and T2, two transactions. And in any one of the transactions, if you have a write operation, then a transaction conflict will occur. Now, what happens if there is a transaction conflict? Now, when transaction conflict means, imagine T1 and T2. Now, T1 and T2 both are using the read operation. Absolutely not a problem. Now, after using, now imagine both are reading same object. Okay, transaction conflict occurs when here, how what happens in musical chair? When both two people will try to sit on same chair, then a conflict occurs. Understanding? See if all the four people will try to sit on one chair, then a conflict occurs. Or at least if two people try to sit on same chair, conflict occurs. Now same way, now if there should be multiple transactions and multiple transactions trying to work on same object. Okay, same object. That's one of the important concept or important thing when you're working on conflict. So there must be at least two transactions. There must be a write operation, and both the transactions are applied on same object. Only then a conflict occurs. Like RFX, if I say both are in two different transactions, both are trying to read same object, then in this case, when I'm trying to read both the operations simultaneously, then no problem. But what if any one object is having a write operation, and one is reading the data, the other one is writing the data? When writing the data means, certainly you may lead to a certain problem. So you have three problems associated with this: write read problem, or read write problem, and write problem. Okay, so you have three types of anomalies we normally call as transaction anomalies. Three transaction anomalies are termed in other way, like what you see here: the lost update problem, temporary update or dirty read problem, and incorrect summary problem. Okay, so we will try to understand each one of them with respect to all these problems. Now try to understand. Okay, before we proceed, any questions? Anybody have any questions? Are you understanding what is a transaction? Let me recap whatever I did so far. First, what is the meaning of transaction? A transaction is an operation applied on a particular object. Operation will be either two things, either read or write. Then we came to know what is a concurrent transaction, what are the multi-user, single user, and so on. Now, what is a transaction conflict? Now, conflict means, when can a transaction conflict occur? When there should be multiple transactions, either any one transaction is a write operation, but both applied on same object, then a transaction conflict can occur. So please remember, there are three problems associated with when a transaction conflict occurs: write read problem, read write problem, and write problem. Okay, so these three problems will occur. Now imagine uh, how the plan has to be followed in order to see that these three problems will not arise. Okay, so I should see that anytime when you're transacting, see that I should not get any problem when I'm working on a particular data. Now please understand how this problem will arrive, or when do we get this such type of problem? Now, mainly we can observe in the form of, especially in reservations. We do get this problem. Now, imagine T1, two people, like T1 is one person, T2 is one person, trying to do reservation for a particular bus on a same train, or sorry, on same time, or for the same source and same destination for a same bus. Then the problem, or then can a conflict or problem may arise. If two people trying to do reservation for different buses for different source and different destination, obviously there will not be any conflict. If two people trying to reserve a same bus on the same day from the same source and for the same destination, then a conflict occurs. Now, please understand, when a conflict occurs, two people doing the reservation for a particular bus for a same source from the same destination on the same day for a same bus. Then, now imagine the availability was 4. So only 4 seats in one particular bus were available, and in the same bus on the same date from the same source and from same destination. Now two different people want to book a ticket. Now initially when initially both saw 4 was the availability. Now both read 4 as the available seats, and imagine this person or T1 want 4 seats and T2 want 2 seats. Okay, now just imagine like this. Now both read four seats because they read that 4 are available. Okay, now when they try to book ticket, they see the available, that is okay, 4 is available, they can proceed with the reservation. Now what happens is, now we will be in a race like, so if this has, if T1 will proceed with its execution, what about R1, what about T2, what about the second person? If all the 4 seats were absorbed by T1, then T2 should get as no seats available. Or if T2 has got the execution first, and he must see that only 2 seats were available. But as of now, if I observe both try to simultaneously do the reservation, and they see with 4 seats available and they try to reserve, then obviously we'll get a conflict now. So we will just figure it out how things may go wrong. When this, imagine when both simultaneously read the value, they have seen that 4 is the availability, and seeing that if he reserves like, let me write here T1 and T2, let me go here, just write me like this. Now I have T1 and T2 here. Now the availability was 4. Now T1 say both will read of x, say 4, r of x, both will have same value, and this says x plus 4, and this says x plus 2. So when I say right of x and when I say right of x, now I see that there definitely must be a conflict. All right, the total seats were just available just 4, and here if I try to observe, if I absorb all the 4 here, and this should be leading to certainly a problem. Now hope you guys are understanding what actually is the problem. Now the total availability just 4, and the total seats here is 6, because 4 this requires, 2 this requires. Now here if I give 2 seats here, 2 seats will be less here, If I give all the seeds 4 to this T1 person, T2 cannot execute, or T2 will get 0 seeds. Now actually thing, a transaction means a transaction should always come with a particular commit command, or we should have a commit before we proceed, or before we go ahead with any other thing. Now please understand what actually the problems will come. The three problems will come is write read problem, read write problem, and write write problem. They are said in other way like this. Lost update problem, the temporary update problem. This is lost update means that is like your lost update means whatever updation was done earlier, that will be vanished, and first whatever you did was temporarily updated to next one, or the earlier update whatever you done will be vanished. So when any transaction you observe, the transaction should must have either a commit or a abort. Okay, please remember, the transaction must come with either a commit command or an abort command. Or one more thing, please understand the words. You have one more thing called as schedule. First, I'm trying to give you the background before we proceed with the actual problems. Okay. Now, what is a schedule? Please write down. Before I tell in detail about the three problems associating with this, you need to know what is a complete transaction. A complete transaction should include a commit or a abort statement in the transactions. So before you know what is a transaction, you must know what is a schedule. Okay, please write down. A schedule is a list of actions of transactions. Please write down what is a schedule. A schedule is a list of actions of transactions. Now, please remember what is action means. Either it may be a read operation or write operation. It is the series of list of operations. Okay, schedule is nothing but a simple list of operations. What operations? The list of transactions, list of operations. Mean what all it is actually the flow of operations. Flow. What flow? First I'm writing this operation, then this operation, then this operation. So whatever the list of actions or list of operations I mentioned, that's the schedule. Understanding? Now, what is a schedule? A schedule is a simple series or list of operations. In those operations, I should have a commit or an abort after a write statement. Then I call it as a complete transaction. Now, when can a transaction can be complete? When I have either a commit or an abort after a write statement, that is called as a complete transaction. Now, before I go with the when do get the problems, please understand what are the problems or what are actual things. So when any transaction you observe, the transactions must have either a commit statement or an abort statement, and I will have, or I should observe, I should follow according to the schedule. Now the schedule will be like a series of actions or series of operations. Now let me show you how actually things will work. Now first let me write read of x and say x plus n, and then I will say write of x, then I will say commit. Okay, now then I will say read of x, x minus m, write of x, then I say commit. Now see, this is one particular schedule. Now please observe what I'm trying to do. Now these two transactions are executing in one flow. One flow means the first one I'll execute this. I'm reading X, then I'm adding N to X, then I'm writing X, then I'm doing commit. After this commit, I'm reading X, and then I'm doing X minus 1, X minus M, then I'm writing X, then I'm doing commit. So see here, I am trying to do the operations in one flow. First I'm doing this, then I'm doing this. Then this is nothing but your schedule. Okay, if I have read of X here, then the schedule is like I'm doing things simultaneously. Okay, so first I will try to do this, then I will try to do this. So this is like one of your schedule. Hope you guys are understanding. Let me write the problems, each one of them, and what is actually a complete transaction. I should have a commit and an abort in the transaction, then it is called as a complete transaction. Now please know what is a schedule. A schedule is the list of actions or list of operations in the transaction. Now let me explain you what are the problems associating with the read write problems. Now please understand, in order to understand what are the problems, all the problems are associated with respect to one word called as conflict. So when a conflict occurs, conflict may occur when I have more than multiple transactions and both are executing simultaneously, and apply any one transaction is a write operation, and those operations are applied on same object, then definitely I am leading to a conflict. Okay, so how to resolve this? To resolve this, we have to come up with some particular operations like locking systems that we will study just later. Now, three problems are associated with that: read write problem, read problem, then write problem. So we will try to understand in detail with all of these three, considering how to work on these. Now, how the problems are associated. Now, according to me, end of the day, what I will tell you is after every write operation, we have to observe that either we should commit or we should run an abort. Okay, after every write operation, there should be a commit. Okay, so we will try to play with these things. Hope you guys are understanding. Any questions before we proceed, or you guys got the complete background before I proceed? Now I will tell you when all these problems will occur slowly, step by step. I will tell you, but these are the backgrounds. So I told you about what is actually a transaction, what is a schedule, when should be a transaction conflict occurs, and what is an operation, everything I told. Now let me tell you something like this: R of X, X plus N or X plus 5, you understand this. I will say write of X. Now I will say read of X, X minus 5 I write. Then I say write of X. Then please say this, what I'm trying to do. Here I say commit, and here I say abort. Now please see this. The fun here is you are trying to read X first. Now imagine X is equal to 10 at the initial. Now when you try to first read X, I will read the value of 10. Then I'm trying to add something to it called and say x will be 15 now. Then I will write this value. The moment I will read 15 now, and after doing 15, I am trying to negate, or I am trying to say minus 5. So I will get 10 now and say commit. See what happens is, after doing this operation, I am doing a commit. And I'm doing abort here. That means whatever this was done, this should be abort, or this should not be done. So when I'm doing this, this is gone. So whatever operations I did here, that should not be done. But here, this is a commit. See here, this is one of the problem. So whatever this is done, this is gone. This is like, this problem is lost, or this transaction will be lost, because here I am doing one abort. So please remember, the main intention I'm showing these things is when to use commit, when to use abort. According to me, the moment I execute one write transaction, there should be a commit or abort. Now this is like lost update problem. Okay, please understand, whatever transaction executed here will be lost because of this update, this abort. Okay, there might be here, I can say abort, there might be here abort. So when this is abort, again it come back to this particular stage, and again if there is abort, whole thing will go wrong, or whole thing will go back to the original r of x, that is 10. Now, what if here it was x minus 5? For example, let us change the values and just try to understand, please. We will reframe it again with the last, how this last update problem will work with respect to different value. Now, please understand, now I read initially r of x is equal to 10. Now, I did minus x minus 5. So, whatever I had initially 10 value. So, what I did here has, I am trying to use minus operation. Say I got x is equal to a 5 value after doing x minus 5 and write it. Here when I read, I am not reading 15, here I am reading 5. Now if I try to do again minus x minus 5, 5, then I will get x should be 0. So when I say commit, x will have the value as 0, because after both the transactions I see my x will have 0 value. Now I say commit. Now x will be holding 0 after commit. Now when I say abort here, x will be having value as a 10. So whatever x should be 0 here, that is gone. This is like lost update problem. So whatever I did last updated value, that is lost because of this transaction executed abort. Hope you guys are understanding. So first was 10. I did minus 5 here, and I read the value minus 5 1, and then I again updated and I did commit. So this transaction did commit because this holds a commit. So minus 10 was the initial value. I did minus 5 here, and I did minus 5 and I've committed here. So when I came back here, say abort, this will lead to the earlier one, say abort. Actually speaking, this only has to be executed abort, not this. This was successfully executed, stating the commit. So please understand how the problems will arise. I'm trying to tell you the different situations where all possible errors will be uploading, or when all there are chances to get an error. All right, so this is like, actually speaking, ix should be having only 5 value. Initially I had 10, so this 5 only has to be abort, but this has to be successful execute, because this shows a commit. After I read the value of 5, and when I'm doing -5, then it should be holding, it should hold 5 because this was successfully executed after a commit. Since this thrown an abort, this is like a lost update problem. Any questions? Hope you guys are understanding what I'm talking. Did you got this? How this works, or how you may get a problem, or how you are getting an error? Understanding? Any questions, guys? Hope you guys are understanding this problem. Now, the other way you can even understand with respect to the other problems. Now, this was lost update problem. Okay, now the earlier one, what I have done commit here, this is gone. And the other one, actually speaking, if I run this in one flow, proper flow, now how it happens? Now imagine I have T1 here, T2 here. Now I will say R of X and X minus 5 I do here. Then I say right of X and say abort here. Then I say read of X here. Then I say X minus 5 and say W of X. Then I say commit. Now here if I observe, initially I had the value of 10. I read this 10 and I say -5 here. So I will have the value of X is equal to 5. Then I say right of 5, in the sense 5 will be written. When I say abort, I go back to the original value as 10. So when I read the value 10 here and I -5 it and I execute right and I say commit. So now X will be having X is equal to 5. Okay. So normally when to use commit, when to use abort, you should understand soon after. Immediately you have a right statement. After a right statement, immediately if you have a abort or commit, everything will work fine. Now, what are the different chances when are we getting errors? So this was the lost update problem. The other update or the other problems we'll try to observe. Now, same way. Now, if I try to have R of let me erase this. Let me go to clear the screen first. Now, imagine I have T1 here, T2 here. Now here I have R of X. Now here I have R of X. And here I say X plus 10, right of X, and say commit. And here I say X minus 5, say W of X, say commit. Now see the fun how it works. Now imagine X is equal to 10. Okay, when X is equal to 10, initially I read X is equal to 10 here, and again X is equal to 10 here I am reading. Then I see that X turns 20, then I say commit here. Now what's happening here? Now X was 10 read here. Now X turns 5. So X is equal to X minus 5. Here X is equal to, mean from 10 I negate to 5 and I write that 5 and I say commit. Now what happens to this? What's happening here? So this is like the read which was done here will automatically definitely lead to a problem, because here I read X, both read X, this updated. What happened to this? This problem, mean whatever, this is like right read wrong. So this is like the other wrong. So obviously here I am going to lost this particular value where I need to have, actually speaking, the x minus 5 should do after this particular commit. But since I have already read the value of x and I proceed with the doing the value, now x should be 20, then I should go with negating. After this statement I should add, or I should have 15, because initially x had a 10 and I'm adding 10 to it, and I should add I should do minus 5 for it. End of these, after end of these two transactions, I should see x should have 15 value. But here what's happening, T2 is working fine, but whatever I did for T2 is doing like wrong read statement when I did the value. Okay, initially I'm reading both values, then I'm proceeding with the value. Since this had the earlier old read, this is like the old read will only execute, the later read statement will not execute here. So this is one of the problem with respect to your transaction problem. Okay, so old read problem, you will have this problem. So this is like read write problem. The earlier one was write read problem. This one is write read problem. Okay, so the further concepts of the third one will observe in the next class. Okay, so any problems or any questions, you can interrupt.